Ladies and gentlemen, House of the Dragon has officially wrapped up. End of season 2. What are my thoughts on the finale? What are my thoughts on the season overall? I liked it. you know, I like I was never not enjoying watching the show. Like, I'm not going to say that it was necessarily a filler season, right? Because I do think we still got like character progression and all that. But there's no denying that it felt like they arbitrarily paused the war that was supposed to happen, right? Like, there was a war that was being set up throughout this entire season. In my opinion, they should have got into it at the middle of this season. Like, the fact that this season ended with like, "Hey guys, the war's coming. Next season is all out war." I saw that quote from one of the producers. Season 3 is going to be all out war. That's what I was waiting for throughout this season. Now, I do want to clarify something here. I'm not saying that it has to be like a fully action-packed season where every episode there's a big battle, because I understand that that's probably not feasible, right? But the fact that there were so many, like the fact that it happened twice, the fact that Rhaenyra for like the first half of this season was like, I don't want to fight a war. I want to find a peaceful resolution for this. I want to try to not fight a war. We should try to minimize the violence. It's like, what are you talking about? You're going to war. Like, we're already past that point. What are you talking about? And then she goes off to King's Landing and she like sneaks in to be like, Alicent, maybe we can stop fighting the war. And then like at the end of this season, Alicent does the same stupid thing where she's like, Rhaenyra, maybe we cannot fight the war. Maybe we can find a way to end this peacefully. I don't want any violence. Like, what are you guys talking about? It's too late for that. It's been too late for that. But again, it wasn't terrible. I'm not even going to say that it's filler necessarily. I just think that it was like half of a season that was extended to a full season. And I think that this season finale, I feel like maybe should have been a mid-season finale. You know what I mean? But anyways, let's get into the into the last episode a bit more in depth. So I thought this was interesting. Like, I gotta say, this whole thing with him going off to the pirate land, and he got the pirate lady to help him. This whole storyline felt like the beginning of another season. Like, this guy's entire storyline, it just felt like I was watching the first episode of season 3. I was like, oh, we're getting introduced to all these new characters. Oh, who's this lady? She's going to be a new character that I get to enjoy for the rest of this season. Like, that whole storyline, it was good. Again, I enjoyed it, but it just, again, it felt like the beginning of another season. That it just felt really weird in the context of everything else. Her, like, they just introduced her as a new character, and their whole introduction and them setting up him and her getting the army together, that all just felt like in the first episode of a new season of Game of Thrones. So it was good, but it felt weird. I liked what they did with the king. I always forget his name. Is it Aegon? I think his name is Aegon, right? Yeah. Or is it Aemon? I think Aegon is either him or his brother. Well, Aegon and Aemon, I think that's their names, but I don't remember which. But yeah, so the crippled guy is basically trying to save him and like, hey, your brother's probably going to kill you, so we could run away. And they did. But I don't think they're running away in the sense that they're not going to be in the show anymore. I assume they are going to be in it somehow. Like they even alluded to the idea that they're going to like run away. They're going to let Rhaenyra and either Aegon or Aemon. I don't remember. The Patches. They're gonna fight, and then he's gonna come back and be like, "Hey guys, I'm still here. I'm still the queen, the king. Everybody love me." So I assume it'll happen. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it happens. Like if he's all throughout season 3, or maybe he's absent for all of season 3, but then he comes back for season 4. I don't know. We'll see. I will say this kid is getting on my nerves. He's just kind of annoying at this point. Just his constant whining and complaining. It's just like, okay, bro, like I get it. You feel threatened, right? You feel like your kinghood at some point is going to be called into question because yo mama slept with other people that she wasn't supposed to. It's like, I get all that, but it's like, my guy, like, you're making me like the other guys now. you're making me want to see somebody else be king. So I don't know. Hopefully they make him a better character and a more likable character in the next season. I thought that this guy was actually pretty interesting this episode. Like, bro is completely black-pilled on life. He's just like me. For real. Like, I thought it was very interesting that, like, that battle where the dragons just, like, completely wrecked shop has, like, severely humbled him to the point that he's just, like, he barely even sees a point in, like, living at this point and, like, and like, fighting because, I mean, I feel like I've been very accurately calling out how they're very much treating the dragons like they're atomic bombs, where it's like they're these insane weapons that basically render men feeling like insects. And yeah, I really liked his whole speech basically stating that. So we'll see where his character goes in the next season. He's a very he's a very good asshole. Like I think everybody loves to hate him. You know what I mean? So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if he, like, I got the feeling that we were gonna see him at some point, like, be at odds with Patches, because we saw him, or I want to say that he saw Patches shoot down the king, right? Like, I want to say that he knows what happened, or at least I feel like he should be suspicious. So I don't know. I want to see them go at odds, him and Patches in the next season. I have to say Daemon is also, like, a bad character this season. Like the entire season is just him tripping balls, being like, I don't know if I want to be subservient to Rhaenyra, so I'm just gonna have a bunch of visions, and then for it to, like, culminate at the end here, where he basically just has a vision of Game of Thrones, and he's like, now I have a duty. I must make sure that Game of Thrones is set up. And it's just like, okay, this is like a weird, not really breaking the fourth wall, but like meta thing. And it's like, okay, well, so now because of this, he wants to be subservient to Rhaenyra. It's like, okay, I don't know. Daemon is just, like, such a great character, and I feel like he was kind of wasted this season. I did like this scene where Patches' sister. I was actually confused. Is she able to have visions? I didn't, because, like, she has a vision, but, like, was that established before? Did I just not remember? But yeah, she, like, has a vision, and she's like, you suck. You're going to take an L at some point. The king is going to be back. He's going to be back on the throne. You're not. So, again, book readers, shut up. I don't want to know. But, like, I wonder if she's basically just, like, seeing the future, and she just knows that that's how things are going to happen. So, I thought that was a good scene where she basically told him to fuck off. This was a great scene as well. this guy whose dad, Corlius or whatever, deadbeat, and the dad is like, I made you my lieutenant or something because I want to help you, and he's like, bitch, please, you had my entire life actually. You had the entire lifespan of my hair to help me. Now you're gonna come and help me? I think not. I thought that was a great scene. Probably the best scene of the episode, if not the season, to be honest. Yeah, I thought that was great. Oh yeah, I already talked about Alicent and Rhaenyra. Cringe. I just, I like, I just don't like how naive they've made Rhaenyra and Alicent now. When they were, I just think it's so cringe that they're like, yeah, maybe we can do this without fighting. Maybe we don't need to fight. Maybe we can save people's lives and we don't need to go to war. Maybe. No, it's too late. It's obviously too late. I don't know. I just hate how naive they made Rhaenyra. I feel like, yeah, one of my big criticisms was that for like the first half of this season as well, Rhaenyra was just nerfed. Like, I feel like in the first season, it was full of her like plotting and making like really cool moves and, you know, doing a bunch of badass things. And yeah, just like definitely for like the first half of this season, it was just her being like, me, we don't want to fight anybody. At least in the second half, they like the old Rhaenyra kind of comes back and she makes all of these big moves, like, you know, getting all the dragons and getting the dragon riders when she's not supposed to, and doing things, you know, that the council don't necessarily want her to do. So they kind of did bring Rhaenyra back. So I appreciate that, and hopefully we get Rhaenyra unleashed in the next season. But yeah, I guess to wrap up here, I'll talk about Otto. He showed up. He's in a cage for some reason. We don't know why, but he's in a cage. So I'm assuming that if this was a Marvel movie, this would have been the post-credit scene, and it would have been Otto Hightower will return. But yeah, Otto's a great character. They did kind of shuffle him off this season, so hopefully he has a big role next season. But yeah, overall, I like the season. You know, I was never like not enjoying watching it. I was just ultimately unsatisfied with the course of the story, and with a good amount of the character arc. So definitely a worse season than season 1. Still enjoyable. And yeah, hopefully they can bring it back next season. We'll see. Let me know what you think in the comments down below, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.